How the war in Iran could affect real estate. Hi everyone, this is Fredy Gonzalez with Fredy Sales Los Angeles and Fredy Real Estate. And today I want to talk about something that might sound far away from real estate, but actually has a big impact on the housing market. Many people are asking, how can a war in Iran affect real estate right here in the United States? It might seem like two completely different things, but global events often influence the economy, and the economy directly affects the housing market. Today, I'm going to break it down in simple terms so you can understand what might happen and what it could mean if you are thinking about buying or selling a home in the near future. One of the biggest things people don't realize is that real estate is tied to the global economy. Events happening across the world, political tension, supply disruption can influence things like interest rates, fuel prices, inflation, construction costs, and consumer confidence. All of these things impact the housing market. When investors and governments react to global events, it creates a ripple effect throughout the entire economy. So even though the conflict might be thousands of miles away, the financial consequences can eventually reach homeowners and buyers right here in the United States. One of the first things affected by conflict in the Middle East is oil prices. The Middle East is responsible for a large portion of the world's oil supply. And when there is instability in that region, oil production or transportation can be disrupted. When that happens, the price of oil usually increases. When oil prices go up, several things happen very quickly. Gas prices increase, transportation costs increase, shipping costs increase, manufacturing costs increase. Almost everything, the economy relies on transportation. That means higher oil prices eventually increase the cost of many goods and services. When costs increase across the economy, it often leads to inflation. Inflation simply means that the price of goods and services continues to rise over time. If transportation becomes more expensive, businesses raise their prices. If manufacturing becomes more expensive, products become more expensive. If energy costs go up, utility bills go up. The Federal Reserve closely monitors inflation because their job is to keep it under control. And when inflation rises too quickly, the Federal Reserve often responds by keeping interest rates higher or raising them. And this is where real estate begins to feel the impact. When mortgage rates heavily influenced by inflation and interest rates policies, when inflation rises, lenders demand higher returns to offset the loss of purchasing power. And as a result, mortgage rates tend to increase. When mortgage rates increase, buyers qualify for smaller loan amounts. Monthly payments become higher, so buyers decide to wait before purchasing. For example, a small increase in mortgage rates can reduce buyers' purchasing power by tens of thousands of dollars. And that means fewer buyers may be able to compete in the market. If mortgage rates increase due to inflation caused by rising oil prices, the housing market may slow down slightly. We may start seeing homes staying in the market longer, more price adjustments, buyers negotiating more aggressively, and some buyers pausing their search at all. However, it's important to understand that the housing market is influenced by many different factors, not just mortgage rates. Inventory levels also play a huge role. Right now, in many parts of the country, including the San Fernando Valley, inventory is still relatively limited. That means when even with higher rates, demand can still remain strong. Another interesting effect of global uncertainty is that investors often look for safe places to put their money. And real estate has historically been one of those places. When stock markets become volatile or uncertain, many investors move money into real estate because it is a tangible asset. People will always need a place to live. So even during global uncertainty, real estate can remain strong in certain markets. One thing I always remind my client is that real estate is local. Global news can influence the market, but every city and neighborhood behaves differently. What happens when nationally may not be exactly what happens here in Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley, or Ventura County. That's why working with someone who understands the local market trends is so important. So the big takeaway is this. Global events like the war involving Iran can impact real estate through rising oil prices, inflation, and mortgage rates. But real estate markets are complex and opportunities still exist for both buyers and sellers. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or simply want to understand what is happening in our local market, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help guide you through the process. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share so you can stay updated on real estate trends that matters to you. This is Fredy Gonzalez with Fredy Gonzalez, South Los Angeles, 818-689-3471. I'll see you in the next video.